Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we're back on an old Codemasters F1 game. Of course, Codemasters have announced that they may be being sold today to some American firm. As we look at this game, F1 2011. Yes, the last time that Turkey was on an F1 game, 9 years ago. As we watch this sort of intro graphic here. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering why we're not got driver career mode today, it's because the audio sound file for that video sort of didn't record, so it's just the picture, so I've got to go and sort something out for the background, so that's why. But anyway, we're here at Turkey for today's video. Career mode coming back, will be back tomorrow instead. That's very nice, but that definitely isn't Sebastian's VETTEL helmet, so that is a very nice custom helmet. It reminds me of Hulkenberg's helmet, what was it, 2017 that he ran? This is my very first lap on F1 2011. I never raced this game on PC. I had the motor we've locked up into turn 1. Well, that's typical of me. I mean, at least we're doing better than what we did a couple of weeks ago at Imola. We are not. Oh, we've got. This is when you could have DRS open with any other. We've gone straight on. I have to get used to. Oh, yeah, I have to get used to the handling model, because oh my goodness grief, is this has got so much turning. There, we might have to do another episode on this, probably at Monaco, see if we can actually do the hairpin, which of course, if you're an F1 2020, is a nightmare for all pad players as we come through the final corner, and set a respective lap time of 1:32.2. The delta, ironically, oh, we've opened DRS too early there. Spoolers off. Well, that's that lap time done. But yeah, the lap delta is a 1:30. We've already thrashed it on to lap 5. We're still not on our fastest lap, as we've lost the back end with Twivel. That's just my driving. Yeah, 1:30 is so easy to beat. Even I can beat it, and that. So I'm sure most of you could probably do even going faster. But this is the fastest lap. I've got Game for Windows Live set up at this point as well, which is why we're on lap 1. So that should we be back for another episode on this game around this track, then the setup that we've recorded, that I've saved, because I'm running a custom setup, because I mean, you should really be running a custom setup on these old F1 games, because the setups were glitched in your favour, so you can go at least 5 seconds a lap faster with a setup, as opposed to what you can do nowadays in F1 2020, where setup probably makes you about only really like a second as we go wide at turn 8. We'll ignore that. I'm hoping that I know a few people are going to try and go flat through turn 8. And God help them when they do, because they will probably go spewing off. There's only one DRS straight here in Turkey, that's in the final sector, where we're here now on this straight going into the final corner. They might add another, I don't know. Obviously this is obviously modelled on what the track looked like in 2011, so I don't think there's been any changes, but anyway, 1:25.4 is the fastest lap I managed. So yeah, 25.4 is the best lap that I did with a setup, as we've lost the back end and I've gone into the wall. Obviously, in real life, there's obviously got to be that sort of balance, because obviously the regulations have changed. You can't run DRS where you want to go anymore as well. But yes, we're going to now do a race. Look at all of these options for race distance. F1 2020, eat your heart out. 1 lap, 3 lap, 10%, 20, 30, 40. I mean, they could do with this, something like this, on F1 2020, 50, 75 and 100. Way more options than what F1 2020 has. We'll go for a 30% race. Difficulty level, we're just going to put all the assists on apart from the dynamic racing line. We'll go with full traction control, braking assist on, pit assist off, rules of flash, illicit tyre simulation on, fuel simulation on, car damage simulation is on full because there was no simulated damage. AI difficulty, we tried professional in the last one that we didn't do very successful at the Nürburgring. We're going to try it again. The safety car will be on, dynamic weather, although I doubt there'll be anything other than sunny. But let's go and load the Turkish Grand Prix. I'll remember this cutscene. Why have we qualified last? It makes no sense to us. Why? Bring those cutscenes back, Codemasters. So yes, race strategy looks like a one-stop as usual, going from option to primes, which I've forgotten the colours because they've changed their colours and it's been that long. I've forgotten what I don't even know what tyres. I'm pretty sure they still had their super soft, soft, medium and hard range, but I'm pretty sure they changed the colours at some point. I can't remember. It's been a long time. This, of course, was the first year for Pirelli anyway. So, yes, as we get ready for the old sort of introduction to the race. None of this fancy graphics or intro reduction with David Croft bollocks that we get in nowadays. As fire lights come on. And away we go for the Turkish Grand Prix up into Richmond. It's a great start, better than D'Ambrosio, who's on the white wall. We're going to call them option, prime tyre. So he's on the prime. It's a great start up into 16th place from 24th on the grid. That's even further back than what you can go in most nowadays, guys. De Rasta moves across in front of us, luckily, and again contact with the Scottish driver. I mean, get back on. And there's Maldonado, who suddenly breaks. We've got Sutil all over the back of us. We've gone absolutely wide. Fortunately, got no wing damage because of the. I mean, we're going to dive it down the inside of Maldonado, and there's contact with Maldonado, the goat man himself. As we eventually get Maldonado. No, we can't get Maldonado, and we've gone through one of the polystyrene balls once again. Now we're going side by side with Adrian Sutil. They're going 3 wide up ahead. On Sutil, try and moves us across us, but we are wiser than that as we dive down the inside of Maldonado and Kobayashi. We're now ahead of De Resta now. Get back on Sky Sports. Down the inside of Buemi, I mean, you're the junior driver, Sebastian. You shouldn't be hitting us, mate. I mean, you're not even the junior driver anymore. You're the reserve driver in Formula E. And then we're coming up now, jumping to lap 3. We've now caught up to the back of the train for the bottom half of the top 10. Next up is Rubens Barrichello, who's still racing at the grand old age of 85 in Brazilian stock cars, which... yeah, he's basically the Brazilian version of NASCAR. That closing in on Perez, not quite, who's of course back in his Sauber days. One of the few people who've actually been around this track since 2011. As we bars Perez out of the way, I mean, the Sauber's not that great anyway. Next up is Michael Schumacher, in the, of course, 7-time world champion down the inside. One German to the other. Michael lets us go through. Thank you very much, Michael. I think it just got a bit wide. Oh, he actually went in the gravel, Michael. I apologise if I unsettled you there. As we jumped to lap 6, we're in DRS range of Petrov in the the first Russian ever to get a podium in his Lotus, as well. The Lotus Renault, of course, not to be confused with the other Lotus. That was also this year as well. There was the Lotus that was Caterham, and then there's the Lotus that's now Renault. So basically, neither Lotus is actually in F1 anymore. As the options are off, the white wall primes are off. That's a 5-second stop. If I remember rightly, on the old generation of F1 games, that's about average. I think they used to go for 4 seconds by the time it got to F1 2014, so I'm just going to presume that's about average as we come out the pit in P9 ahead of Heidfeld and behind Pastor Maldonado, but eventually we come out behind Italy Petrov. It's actually P8 because obviously Maldonado's pitted, has presumably taken a couple of the back markers out. As we dart down the inside of Petrov, who swipes across us again. Down the inside is not the best way to go on this game. And now we are gonna have DRS, are we? Please, no. Petrov's gonna have DRS. So, but yeah, despite this, we're still closing in. I think we're gonna have to dive bomb him around the outside. We'll turn. No. Maybe try and get a switchback. No, we've hit his rear end. That's nice. Switchback is available through these corners. It does give you the option there, but again, doing that as we set a new personal best, 29.7. As we go around the outside of Petrov, you've got a bit too much on the curve there, and we're just going to reutilise the curves up into P7. Thank you very much. And next up is our Rosberg. We're catching up to the race car for the lead. This is a little bit too easy. This is coming into the DRS. We have DRS on Rosberg, who's got on the curbing there and has lost it. And Rosberg is round. Out the way, Rosberg. Thank you very much. Oh, that's Rosberg's race done. I mean, to be fair, this was the days before him and Hamilton fell out. And nobody really knew who he was, as he set another new purple lap time of 28.9 on the following lap. And we've caught up to Vettel's old rival, Fernando Alonso, who I'm sure will be his new rival in F1. As Alonso gets a little bit wary into the middle sector, that's going to allow us to corner cut and catch up as we go around the outside. Simple overtake, cut him off and up into P5. Yeah, he didn't look. He had a little bit of a wobble, Alonso, and we just set him up really for that much. As we now trying to catch up to Felipe Massa, who obviously was still racing up until earlier this year, but now he's left Formula E. So as we go through turn 8, and we've gone wide into the gravel. Obviously, the gravel not really modelled correctly. We've lost a place to Alonso, and now we're going to have to get back again. Moving to lap 12, we've got DRS. Alonso defends the inside. Obviously, we're not quite. We're still not quite 100% used to the handling model as we push Alonso out of the way, take out the bollards, which were sort of custom with the game, and we're going to easily make it into turn 1 ahead of the Spanish. And next up is Felipe Massa around the outside. So can we get it done? No, we can't. We're going to have to sit behind, although Massa has a wobble on the end. We're going to have to set around the outside. And here's Webber. He's been blocked by Kartikeyan in the HRT. Kartikeyan blocks us, but we managed to go through on Webber as well. And I'm pretty sure there's Hamilton. Button's not up very far ahead as well in the McLaren. So Webber getting the back markers up. I'm surprised. That's just how slow the HRT. And Trulli's taken us out. Got front wing damage. What are you doing, Trulli? Well, he hasn't taken us out, but he has given us red front wing, which well, has got a bit of understeer. It's not horrific around here, but it is bad. We are winging it, so we do get the achievement there from the Games for Windows Live. For those of you who remember how the pain, yes, it is still a pain all these years later. We're ahead of Button, I feel though that if we had an intact front wing, we could probably caught Hamilton in the dying laps. Maybe he got into DRS and possibly did an overtake on the last lap. As it happens, all the pace is gone. We're going understeering absolutely everywhere. It's not as bad as F1 2020 when you lose your front wing, because it's more like an orange on, not even that, maybe a yellow on F1 2020 compared to the red on as we go gingerly through turn 8 there, not even attempting to be flat. And Button is right up behind. Is he going to have a go into the hairpin? No, he's not. And we move back ahead. We're going to try to see if we can get. We've got Button and Webber closing in on us. We've gone a little bit wide. We're on the grass a bit. That's going to allow Button to have a go at us. We defend the inside, swiping across, and that's going to allow us to get back in front into P2. Nothing doing in these final corners, and we'll come across the line. We'll take a very wide line in the final corner for P2, which is probably the best we've ever had in one of these challenges, as we have a nice cutscene, certainly better than the ones in F1 2020 there. So yes, I'm going to leave it there. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you see more episodes like this as when they come out. We've only got one left of this series at Bahrain short. I'm not entirely sure we can actually get it done. But we'll see about that. Until the next guys, it's time to take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.